Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a new scarf pattern. So this scarf is going to be worked up in a third loop half double crochet. So that's a little bit of a variation on a regular half double crochet, but it's really easy. If you can do a basic half double crochet, you can definitely make this scarf. It works up pretty quickly. I definitely finished it in an afternoon. It's not a difficult pattern at all. It's very repetitive, and it's kind of one of those that you want to make when you sit down and watch your favorite show, and it's kind of mindless, which is nice. It's really easy for beginners. I'm definitely going to be using an H 5mm hook and some worsted weight yarn. You could try this out with different yarns. It would definitely look really nice in a chunkier yarn. I'm just going to use worsted weight because that's what I prefer, but you could definitely change this up to suit your liking. It's very versatile. So I made this pattern for my sister at Christmas, and I made lots of crochet things for all of my family at Christmas, but this one was definitely one of the most popular in terms of it was one that everybody wanted, and it's definitely a good pattern for any time of the year. It works really, really great with any outfit, and it's really nice and warm. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so we're going to be using 2 skeins of a worsted weight. I used Vanna's Choice, and we're going to be crocheting with the 2 strands at the same time as if it was one bulkier strand. So you're always going to hold them together like so. So we're going to make a slip knot. Make a slip knot with both of the strands and then insert your hook. And you're going to chain 15. So you're working with both of those strands at the same time as if they were one. And I wind up using almost the entirety of both of the skeins just because I made a pretty long scarf. You may not need that much, but I would say definitely set aside 2 full skeins for this project. So we have 15 chains, and now we're going to half double crochet in the first chain from the hook and keep half double crocheting all the way down. These are just normal half double crochets. In the next row we'll do the third loop half double crochet, and you'll see what that looks like. So now we've reached the end of our row. You just want to tighten that slip knot, make sure it's secure, and we're going to chain up 1. So that's our row of half double crochets, and turn your work. And now we're going to go into the third loop. So if we look at that top row of stitches and then we turn it a little further, we can see the third loop back there. So these are the stitches you would normally go into. If you were stitching normally, you would insert your hook like this. But we're not going to do that. We're going to go into this back loop back here behind the front and back 2 loops that you would normally work with. This is called the third loop. So you're doing a normal half double crochet, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3. You're just inserting your hook in a different spot. So you're going in that third loop behind. And you can kind of see it pushing forward those stitches. So the loops that you would normally go into, the purpose of this stitch is it's going to push those loops forward and create almost a knitted look. It's kind of mocking a knit look, which is really great because I cannot knit. I've tried several times, and apparently crochet is my thing and knitting is not. So hats off to all of you knitters out there that can do both. But I like this stitch a lot because it allows me to get a knitted look pushing those stitches forward like this without actually having to sit down and knit. And make sure you don't miss that last stitch. You want to be absolutely sure that you have 14 third loop half double crochets. So make sure to count those stitches and be sure that as you're getting in the groove of doing this stitch, you don't miss any, because going into that third loop is a little bit new and different for most of us, and so I think that it's very easy to skip one or, you know, kind of get messed up counting wise. So chain one, turn your work, and we're going to do the same thing. So look for that third loop back there behind the front two normal 2 loops. And as you go down the line after you do the first couple of stitches, it will start pushing forward those stitches that you would normally go into anyway. So don't be confused if it looks like it's already pushing forward. That's what it's supposed to do. And you're just going to do this same stitch, this exact same thing over and over and over again. You're going to chain 1 and turn and do 14 third loop half double crochets all the way down. And for the length that I wanted, I did a total of 45 rows of half double crochets, third loop half double crochets. But depending on if you just wanted to do a cowl, you could do it, you know, a lot shorter than that, probably 20 rows or so. I did 45, and that gives you what you see here, and it winds up wrapping around my neck twice with a comfortable amount of room. So you can see it's a pretty long scarf. I'm going to make an infinity scarf, so I'm going to stitch this last row, the 45th row, together, and I'm going to insert my hook in that third loop again, just so that the seam blends in with the rest of the stitches. So just insert your hook in that third loop and then find the other end of your scarf. Make sure nothing's twisted or anything. And we have that row of chain stitches that we started with. So just insert your hook into that chain stitch on the edge. And then we're just going to pull through everything and make it really tight. And I just slip stitch it closed. So just a matter of inserting your hook through that third loop and then through the chain stitch on the other side, and then pulling that yarn through. So just do that all the way down, making sure to match up your stitches so nothing winds up crooked or uneven. And you'll have an infinity scarf. You don't have to stitch this closed if you wanted just, you know, a long piece of work that is, you know, a normal scarf that you wrap around, or don't, you know, you're more than welcome to do that as well. But I prefer the infinity scarf look. So you get all the way to the end here, and you can see that seam tends to blend pretty nicely, as much as a seam can, honestly. And you're just going to snip both your threads and finish off, pulling that yarn really tight. We don't want anything to come unraveled, and then you just need to weave in those 4 strands, the 2 from your beginning chain stitch and 2 from the end. And I hate weaving in ends, so this is my kind of project. Not very much to weave, and that is our finished scarf. So this one's super easy. It took me maybe 2 hours to work up. It's very quick for how beautiful it turns out. I hope you guys loved it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.